So in this episode, I'm going to put a light layer of glass on the decks here. I used BC pine because I couldn't get the Marante, the actual true marine ply 6mm to follow the curve. I really didn't want to bend. I actually broke it a little bit putting big clamps on it. But anyway, I used BC pine. That's an exterior waterproof glue. It passes the boil test and everything. However, the grain will check over time, and there's a little spot of filler here too I didn't notice when I put on the decks. So I'm going to put 1.5 ounce glass over this just to help weather seal it. Doesn't need to go on the inside, just the outside. Also the outside of the hatch. On the inside of the hatch I'm going to do a fillet and the glass tape here. That's mainly for structural reasons. And I've got this routed so it should still fit on here. I may need to trim it slightly. Of course, before I put the tape on, I'm going to sand this down, trim this up a little bit, probably match this curve here on the back here, and get this all smooth and rounded and everything. But anyway, I'm going to get started on this. I'll sand it and all that. Should be fun. Come along. Okay, today I'm going to put some fairing compound on the forward and aft deck. After this is the aft deck, that's the forward deck. But anyway, I have some small gaps here that I want to fill. Also want to fill the staple holes, the little lip where the tape goes, and some other irregularities. I'm actually going to paint the deck for several reasons. It gets a lot of sun, and varnish is not as good as paint as far as stopping UV damage, and of course the epoxy will be damaged by the UV. Also, I may want to put non-skid on here, because if I need to walk off the canoe onto another boat or something, I want to put non-skid on here. Also, I want it to match the color of the sails and the color of the amas, and I have some lime green, a nice light color. You really don't want dark colors on a fiberglass boat, or an epoxy fiberglass boat anyway, because the epoxy actually softens when you get it fairly warm. The epoxy actually softens at a fairly low temperature, and if you ever paint this black, for instance, the epoxy in the glass would actually soften. Also today, I'm going to run a fillet around here. I put some glass tape on the inside. I was actually not sure I was going to do that because it actually fits down kind of tight, but I think it'll be fine. it actually touches here when it goes down, and what it's doing is touching right here, and then putting another filler right here. At the worst case, it's just going to raise it up just a hair, and then there's going to be a gasket in there which is going to raise it up even more. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. I will glass this later. Right now I'm going to fill little small holes, fair it, and sand it smooth, and fill it these guys. So you're going to see that I'm going to be using something white instead of the brown for the filling material for the fairing compound. I'm going to be using what's called glass bubbles. They're a lot easier to sand than the wood fiber or the wood filler, wood flour. They're not as strong structurally, but this is a cosmetic filling coat because I'm going to paint it. I want to fill all the little bumps and dimples and stuff so I can get a nice smooth coat. There's actually going to be a layer of glass on top of the fairing compound, but that's not a structural layer of glass. That's merely to keep the plywood from checking. And if the plywood checks, it opens up small holes where water gets in and gets damages over time. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm also going to fill up the hatches and put some glass tape on the inside. So I've decided that rushing to get certain sections of this done for the video for the weekly progress makes it less pleasant. And I really enjoy doing this. So what I'm going to do is you guys are going to get exactly what I do in the week, and that's it. I'm not going to try to rush, get certain sections done. I'm just going to do what I do. And that's the video that I'm going to do. So for instance, this week I have a long list. I had to make a list of stuff to do. But this week I am working on finishing these guys. And next week I will do what I do next week. And so on and so on. So that's it for this week. This week you saw me cut out the hole for inside the hatch. Also fair and sand the decks and the hatches. I put the reinforcement tape on the bottom, and I put a light layer of glass, 1.5 ounce and 3/4 ounce, on the hatches and on the decks. That's to prevent the plywood from checking, and that's where you get small cracks that develop over time where water gets in and damages it. I just put a fill coat on the decks and on the hatches. I was thinking not to do that and to just fill it with primer, because primer is a lot cheaper than epoxy, but there are some irregularities that I want to be able to sand down, so I put on the fill coat, and next week I'm going to be sanding the decks smooth and sanding the hatches smooth. I'll probably put on the rub rail as well, and maybe start looking at the seats. So that's it for this week, and everybody have a nice weekend.